Burnout is a real risk for project managers. And as a project manager, it is something that you want to learn how to identify and control so you don't get burnt out. And in this video, I'm going to share with you just that, some really great tips to help you avoid burnout so that you can be great at your job always. And since we're talking about burnout, you want to make sure you avoid project mistakes because that leads to burnout. And I have you covered. At the end of this video, I'm going to give you a link that you can download my free guide on how to ensure your projects don't have some critical mistakes. Hi, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Adriana Girdler, and you have come to the best channel on project management. So if you're interested in learning more, definitely subscribe to this awesome community. Now, project managers, if you are interested on how to avoid burnout, let's get to it. Limit your overtime. All right. This becomes really interesting as a project manager because we can at times be constantly fighting fires. And if you're always fighting fires, then you're constantly doing overtime to keep things organized. So it becomes really important that you take a look at to how are you managing things? Are you constantly overworked and working those overtime hours just to feel like you're getting on track? You really need to monitor that. One of the great things that you can do in order to help minimize that, not necessarily stop it because firefighting is part of project management, you want to just minimize the amount that you're doing is in your preparation and your planning. So really getting clear in initiation and in the beginning stages of your project of really getting yourself organized, getting all your documentations in place, and setting up expectations for your team. Now, something else you have to consider in regards to overtime and ensuring you don't have burnout is don't take on all the responsibility. It's not your job. Your job is to manage and be organized. It's okay to say no. Now, in the corporate world, this becomes a very interesting thing because a lot of times we feel the pressure to be a team player, to say yes to everything. And what can happen is we can sometimes overload ourselves, leading to burnout. Now, in projects in particular, this becomes very tricky because we get bombarded with external noise, so to speak, of people outside of the project team. Oh, can you just add this? Can you just do this? And it all seems simple and innocent enough, but it can actually lead to a lot of burnout and stress because now you're scrambling to get things done. So what I'd like to ask you and actually invite you is learn how to say no because it's okay when you do it professionally, respectfully, and you do it in the guise of strategy. So as a project manager, it's scope, time, and budget. So if you're going to say no, you do it in the context of that scope, time, and budget. And if you properly planned, you will have a really clear idea of your timelines and what exactly your scope is. And you probably would have done a project priority matrix as well, which would give you that guidance too. So saying no is okay, and it's going to help ensure that your projects stay on track. So learn to say no. Before we jump into the next tip, I want to remind you to stay tuned to the end of this video where I'm going to tell you how you can get your hands on the top 10 mistakes project managers make and how to avoid them. Now, for the next tip, what can you do to avoid burnout? Well, plan, plan, and plan. So one of the big causes of burnout is stress. And one of the big causes of stress is that we're not organized. So planning and really getting in the beginning stages of your project very clear with what you're going to do has huge impact. It's only going to help guide you in your decision making and really give more guidance to your project team so they themselves can take on more accountability, which is really important. For people to take on more accountability, they have to be really clear with what they're going to do. So that's why your project plan and getting all of those elements really settled so people can really work on their own is critical to helping you manage your stress. So therefore, hopefully not giving you any burnout. Now, other things too to consider in the middle of projects that you really should be looking at is risk management. Risk management is something that has to be looked at throughout the project and to formalize that. So taking a look at what are the risks, what are your mitigation plans and your contingency plans accordingly is also going to be part of that planning. Don't leave things to chance, but as long as you have 80% planned, it's going to make your life less stressful, in essence, avoiding burnout. Learn to pause. This can sometimes be difficult for project managers because we are organizing, we're planning, we're doing everything that we need to do, and hours can slip away as you're trying to get organized, particularly if you have upcoming meetings and you're trying to get that all settled and ensuring that you have everything ready for your project team members. But you do have to learn how to pause. You do have to ensure that you step away from the computer and you walk away from your desk. You even want to think about having some mindful moments so that you can just reduce the stress, calm down, connect to the present moment, not getting caught up in the whirlwind vortex of what next, what is it next that I have to do, or thinking of any of the firefighting. Those stuff will always be there. That's a constant. It's just how you deal with it. So you don't want to get sucked into it. So learning to pause, taking multiple breaks throughout a day so you're not really constantly looking at your computer screen or organizing things accordingly. You really want to learn how to take a mindful moment. Really, deep breaths are a really great technique. Walking outside is another great technique. And if you're into meditation, how wonderful is that? Because that's just going to keep you grounded in very stressful situations so that when that happens, you're not going to be impacted by the stress, therefore ensuring that you're not going to have burnout. So really learn how to take care of yourself. Just like on an airplane, when we're asked to bring down the oxygen mask, we don't put it on our child first, we put it on ourselves. Same thing for a project manager. You got to take care of yourself in order to help your team. Now that you have some very tangible tips on how to avoid burnout. Remember, I said, stay tuned and I'm going to give you something that's awesome. It's right here, how to avoid project mistakes. You need this if you're feeling any stress because you want to know how to mitigate it. And it's free for you under this video. So go grab it. Why not? Now, I really appreciate you watching this video. If you can give it a like because you connected with the content, that helps us grow our community. And I look forward to seeing you at the next video. Have a great day.